In this video we'll discuss the new Upsize Genie that's available as an optional feature pack for Alpha 5 version 10. So the Upsize Genie takes an application that you've built in Alpha 5 that uses DBF files. This is we're talking here about desktop applications, and it automatically upsizes the application so that instead of using DBF files, the data is now all coming from a SQL backend. Now that could be any SQL backend that we support, so it could be SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, etc. So you can see here we are inside the sample Alpha Sports application that ships with Alpha 5, and if I go to the control panel, you can see here that all of the tables here are native Alpha 5 DBF tables, and I can tell that because we don't have that little green link icon showing here, which would indicate that they were active link tables. So let's now take this this application, which is, as I say, written on DBF files, and move it so that it's now using SQL Server as its backend. So in order to do that, I'm going to go here and choose the Database Upside Genie, and that's going to open up the Genie. And here I can go ahead and specify where the upsized database will be created. Now it's important to keep in mind that your existing source database isn't going to be changed at all or modified at all. So there's no there's no risk of anything bad happening when you upsize your database. So we'll accept the default over there, and now our next choice now is to specify the connection string of the database that we want to upsize to, and we're going to choose SQL Server. So let's go ahead now and define our connection string, and so we'll build a connection string to SQL Server, and we'll just test our connection here. And then let's create a brand new database in SQL Server. That'll be our Upsize target. So we'll create a new database. Test the connection, and create our new database, and we'll call it Alpha Sports Upsize, and then we'll go over there. So that succeeded, and then we'll just close that down. Let's save this now as a named connection, and we'll just call it SQL Server Alpha Sports. And if we switch over to SQL Server now and we refresh this database list here, refresh, we'll see now that there's a new database here called Alpha Sports Upsize, but at this point it doesn't have any tables in it. So now let's carry on with the Genie. So we'll click OK over there, and this gives us a summary of what our connection is. So we'll go ahead here and say next. So these are all of the tables in my database, in my current Alpha 5 application, and these are all the sets. So we're going to upsize everything, and now basically when we upsize the database here, we're going to be creating tables in the SQL Server database for every single table, every single native Alpha 5 table that we have. And when we create those tables, we can either choose to export data into those tables or leave them empty. So we're going to export data, all of the existing data in our DBF tables, we're going to choose to export that to our SQL backend. So we'll go ahead here and say next. So now Alpha 5 analyzes all of the tables and reports back to us on any problems that it finds. So let me pause here and pick it up in the next video.